Hello friends, and welcome back to my not quite study, but it is definitely full of figures. A few more than it used to be. Things have been expanding a little bit, changing a little bit, but before I get into all that, so I was thinking of doing a sort of vlog. I don't know the proper way to say it. I don't care, both seem relevant, but regardless, I was thinking I might do either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, just kind of little video updates like this, just kind of going over a few things like, my thoughts on certain figures, new figures that I've gotten my hands on, that sort of thing. Nothing major, and don't know if anyone would be interested in watching that or not. If not, that's cool. I'll probably do it anyway, just because it gives me something. Gives me a third video to put up each week instead of doing two. Speaking of, the whole reason I do the 2 videos a week currently is because I'm just kind of working with what I got. I don't want to burn through my entire collection all at once, so I want to just kind of, pace it and make sure that I have enough content to go up regularly. If I did a video every day, then I'd finished covering everything in my collection by now, and I wouldn't have the money to keep up with that pace. So, yeah, in case anyone is wondering, that's why I do the two videos a week currently. I felt like one is not quite enough, especially because I don't exactly do anything special with them, but that's where we're at right now. So, as for update type stuff, one thing I did want to mention is you're all going to be noticing fairly soon, depending on when this video goes up, you're going to start to notice that I've started using a blue background. That is kind of... it's a tricky thing. I wanted to use the blue background because I wanted something a little bit different than the typical white or black background that you see in a lot of these videos. And I really like the way that it makes the colors on the figures pop in the thumbnails with, admittedly a little after touching, but it really makes the colors pop in the thumbnails, and it really makes the colors pop in the videos when the figure is up close, when my hands are in the shot. And I like the way it looks with the blue background when all of that stuff comes together, but it does blow out the color something fierce, either when the figure is too far away from the camera or when my hands aren't in the shot. I don't know why it does that. I guess it's just got to do with the color balance, the automatic color balancing on my camera. But I really like the way the blue background makes the colors pop, but I don't like the way it blows colors out at the same time. And so I'm kind of going back and forth with myself, trying to decide how to handle it going forward. The current idea that I have, which, feel free to weigh in on, because there are a lot of videos that are pre-scheduled and already filmed that are going to be going up over the next month, and they're all with this background, just giving you a heads up. So it's not something I'm going to be changing for the next 8 to 12 videos, give or take. So yeah, plenty of time to kind of see what you all think and tweak things as needed. My thought was I could use the blue backdrop for smaller figures because they'd be closer to the camera normally because they're smaller, and then use like either white or black for the larger figures, because then it won't, they won't be as, they'll be farther away from the camera, but it won't blow out the color because they're, white and black. So, just a thought. I was also thinking that having that differential in the background colors will make it easier for you all to see at a glance what scale I'm working with. Like, you'll be able to look at it and see, blue background. That means this is a, Voyager, like a Legends to Voyager class figure, generally speaking. Or, that's a white or black background. That means this thing is really big. So, just a thought I was playing around with in my head. So feel free to let me, feel free to let me know what you think. In terms of new stuff, there is quite a lot of new stuff, but there's also been quite a bit of old stuff that I've had to sell off because it's a combination of money and space, which I think I mentioned in my last sort of personal video. This is a small apartment. I mean, it's a good size for, you know, 2 people and 3 cats. Yeah, 3 cats now. And it's a good size, but it's not, you know, it's a New York apartment. It's not like I've got shelves upon shelves. I don't have like a room that I can just put all my figures in. Not yet. But because of this and the money thing, I, you know, really have to limit what I get my hands on, and it's gotten to the point now where I have to sell some things to make room and get money for other things. And because of that, I've been kind of culling my collection a little bit, but also bringing more stuff in. The reason I mention this is because, you know, things are constantly changing, and so my collection isn't necessarily getting bigger, but it is cycling a lot. And because it's cycling a lot, there are going to be some things that if anyone asks about a follow-up for or something like that, I may not be able to do because I don't have that figure anymore. There are going to be some that I will never ever get rid of, I can guarantee you that, but there are some that I have gotten rid of and some that I'm kind of in the process of getting rid of. The other reason I bring this up is because I've started selling figures on eBay. So if you're interested in seeing any of the stuff that I'm selling, you know, there's going to be a link down in the description. Feel free to check it out. Nobody's under any obligation to buy anything if you don't want. I'm trying to keep the prices, you know, at a point where it'll be fair for everyone, so that, you know, it's like, because I don't want to sell something for way below what I know it's worth. I also don't want to try and, you know, pull one over on anyone else either. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to go with, like, if the price is a little bit higher, then I try to bring the shipping down or do free shipping. If the price is much lower, then it's usually like, you know, not overpriced shipping, but just like realistically priced shipping. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing what I'm getting rid of, feel free to take a look. I've got mostly Transformers and a couple of third-party things and stuff like that, and a few board games too. Because I've been working on cutting down the board game collection a little bit too, because shelf space. In terms of new stuff, I'm not going to go over every single new thing that I've got my hands on, but there are a couple of particular ones that I do want to point out. You may have noticed this guy behind me, but I did get my hands on the Turbo Falcon Megazord, and this guy, his video is still a ways off. This I got as a project figure because I think the overall robot mode and vehicle modes are neat, but it's really plain, just solid blocks of color everywhere, not a whole lot to it. So I got myself some, like a panel lining thing, and also some aftermarket reproduction labels, not specifically Repro Labels, because Repro Labels doesn't make stickers for this guy. It's another company. I forget what they're called now. I'll try to remember to look it up and put it in the description down there. But yeah, they make stickers for this guy, and it makes a big difference. So this is going to be a different kind of video. What I'm going to do for this guy is, once all the supplies that I ordered come in, I'm going to cover him, then do like a quick starting to do the panel lining, applying the stickers type thing, and then do a follow-up once everything is complete, and sort of take a look at him after he's been customized a bit. So that's that. You may also notice that behind me, in addition to this guy, there's a lot of Megazords. A lot of Super Sentai stuff. Honestly, my interest has kind of shifted, not from Transformers to Super Sentai, but it's kind of gone to like more of a 50-50 split, because I really enjoy the simplicity and fun of a lot of these Super Sentai toys. And I mean, you're going to see some of those in some of the videos coming up, and I've been trying to pace it. I've been wanting to do like maybe, you know, alternating with Transformer Super Sentai, Transformer Super Sentai, so that way, you know, it doesn't like dilute everyone with these old Power Rangers toys that a lot of people probably don't care about anymore, but I still want to talk about them because I think they're cool. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot. Managed to get myself the regular Zeo Megazord with all the helmets and everything first. surprisingly good price. In addition to some other stuff back there, yeah. And on my top shelf, which you can't actually see because of the framing, that's where I have all of my really big figures, specifically like big combinations, like Devastator's up there because there's nowhere else he'll fit. But I've also got a lot of my bigger Sentai toys up there, and that's where I've got Daikai Shinkano and the Wild Tosai King, which the video for that is coming. And then I've also got my hands on a few other ones, like the 3 Mecha from Tokyuger, which I will be doing videos on eventually when I get to it. I got my hands on the Delta Megazord from Power Rangers in Space, so now I have the Astro Delta Megazord, which is really cool, and I want to do a video on that too at some point in the future. And the thing that made me really happy, I managed to get my hands on the, was this the Omega Max Delta Zord? No, this is the Delta Max Megazord, right? That's what this combination's called, I think. The Power Rangers SPD, although this is actually from the, this is the Japanese version, which you can tell because of the chrome there, but yeah. This is a set that I managed to get for a pretty good price, and I am really excited about this. I really like this set, and I'm looking forward to doing a video on this. Last but certainly not least, my most recent acquisition. If you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen this already. I managed to get my hands on a figure that I used to have a long time ago, like back, I think, high school. I kept it for a while because this thing came out in like the early 2000s. No, it came out in the 90s. I don't know what I'm thinking. But had this figure for a long time, loved it. Don't know why I got rid of it or even remember how. And once I got back into this, I realized, oh crap, that figure still is a thing that exists. I should look for it, and that became my holy grail. And I managed to luck out and found a seller on eBay who was selling it for a lot less than the $150 that a lot of people seem to want to charge for this thing. So, got Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad Drago. I love this thing. I always loved this. Was like one of my favorites when I was growing up, and beyond growing up, and I'm extremely excited to have this back in my collection. I actually managed to also find a servo for a very good price. It's like maybe $12 with shipping. So once servo comes in, we can do a proper video on this. He's missing a couple of stickers. Well, more than a couple, but you know, that's fine. I love this thing. This thing is so... This is my jam, as probably the most 90s way I can put it. So that's what's been going on with me. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do these weekly or bi-weekly or monthly or whatever. You know, if you're interested in this, by all means chime in, tell me what you think. I mostly am just kind of putting this out there to put this out there, but I'm more than willing to listen to any input you all might have. You can look forward to more Sentai stuff in the future, still more Transformers stuff in the future. There's still plenty of Transformers figures that I have not done videos on, including Energon Landmine, which is really cool, and I'm looking forward to doing a video on him eventually. And I've also still got plenty of old mainstays that I haven't touched yet, and also got my hands on a few more Titans Return figures, and I'm still looking for more Titans Return figures. Like Broadside, Six Shot, Perceptor, Topspin. They're coming eventually. So that's it, I guess, for now. Hopefully this has been informative to anyone who might be wondering what's going on. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, feel free to ask away. Any suggestions you'd like to make, feel free to chime in. Thanks for your time. Hope you all are having a good week, and I'll see you when I do another one of these.